Good evening, everybody. It's that time. It's 8 o'clock. It's Sunday night, and it's Nick's Sunday night quiz. Well, pub quiz even, live from my lounge, so to speak. Right then, what have we got to talk to about tonight? First of all, let's see. We've got 24 people online at the moment, so presumably it's going to be a good turnout tonight. We've got 6 rounds of general trivia tonight to keep you going, as always, starting with round number 1, which will be entitled Sunday, the 11th of April. Sunday, the 11th of April. Right, first off tonight, we have Squeaky Pub. So good evening to Squeaky Pub. Now, Squeaky Pub last week, very good result with 62 points out of a possible, well, I don't know what it was actually, 70, I think, last week. But well done to Squeaky Pub. Clive and Janet have just joined us from the teasers. So evening to Clive, Janet, and all those from up north. I hope you're all keeping well. I hope you've had a lovely day. We've had a mixed bag of weather this afternoon. We've had glorious sunshine, which has gone part way to charge my car this afternoon. And on the other hand, we had a little bit of snow. Well, it wasn't really snow. I think it was more like, I'm not sure what it was. It looked like powder coming down, really, but never mind. Powdery snow. Let's put it like that. Now then, the teasers last week, they basically were in second place, second equal with Carol Green on a fantastic 67 points. So well played, the teasers. They've said, yes, a slightly snowy Teesside. So, well, fantastic. Ian Miller's just joined us. Good evening, Ian. I hope all is well with you. And Faye's also just joined us. Said, hey, Nick and Lydia, hope you've had a good day. Boobies are in the house. Excellent. So, hopefully we've got the 2 boobies ready to go for tonight's quiz. Kevin's just joined us, Kevin Keenan, and our friends from the Rugby Rotary Club. They're back and refreshed. They've had their what do I call it, spring recess. They're back in fighting form to see how they fare tonight in what will be, I hope, a good, close competition tonight. George Priestley's just joined us. He says, hi, Nick, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, George. I hope you've had a good day. He's just saying that white stuff was fallout from Rugby Cement Works. It probably was, Ian. I think you've got a better view than me, though. I suppose. I don't know. Jed and Tracy have just joined us. They are all in and ready to go. Andrew Lewis has also just joined us from, so that's Andrew and Jane from sunny Yelvertoft, just outside Rugby. And a glorious afternoon it's been on and off, I have to say. Georgie and Rory have also just joined us. Good evening, Georgie. Rory, hope you're doing well. Again, it's what was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say then. Never mind. I've given up what I was going to say, but it's great to see you joining in tonight's quiz. I hope you're both keeping well. And let's say that hopefully next week things begin to start opening up again. Certainly for the retail and the pub trades, it's going to be an interesting few weeks to see how we go, so to speak. But never mind. We are not opening our 2 pubs until May. It didn't seem prudent, really, to open them because there's lots of regulations and things involved in people wandering through the pub to get to the garden and going to the toilets indoors and paying at the till indoors. I don't know. So we're going to give it a few weeks before we open up and see how it goes. Anyway, Debbie McCarthy's just joined us. Well played, Debbie, for last week. A fantastic performance last week, as usual. I'm just looking at my scores from last week. We had a very close competition last week. We had in first place last week with the Quizzy Rascals on a 68.5, with the teasers just behind them, along with Carol Green, both on 68 points. Then we had Don Quixote. They were not far behind on a fantastic 66, with PRS on 65.5. Julie Foley was on 65. We had Jen Tracy on 64.5. We had Debbie McCarthy on 64. That's what I was looking for, Debbie. I've just found you 64 points last week. So that's the score to beat this week, although there's less questions in the first round, you'll be pleased to know. Right, Martin Davis has just joined us from the Weak Links. He says we are now assembled on online. Great, nice to see you, Martin, as the Giffords are as well. So good evening from Uppertoft, saying Graham and Jane Gifford. It's great to see you online. I hope my brother's going to join us in a bit. We'll see. I don't know. Lisa Lasky's just joined us. She said, good evening from a hot California. 84 degrees and sunny here today. Hope everyone's looking forward to a beer tomorrow or going shopping. Well, we'll see. Certainly, I'm not convinced I'm looking forward to either, but never mind. Right, and Penny's just joined us. She's saying, evening all from a sunny, then snowy, haily, rainy Holland. Well, that sounds about what it's been all day today, Penny. It's been interesting, hasn't it? Good mix of weather around the UK. Ian's just joined us. Harry, Julie, Ian and his bottle of Shiraz are ready to go. Now, I think Ian said last week, after a fantastic performance, I mean, they did very well in the end. They ended up on 64 points last week. And he did say at the end, he said, I think I've had too many bottles of Shiraz. I think I'd better just go steady tonight, and he's just going to have one, according to Ian from last week. But never mind. Ian Miller's just, what's he said? Yeah, back to Brandon Health and Spa Gym. Is that you, Ian? Oh, blimey. My daughter, Lydia's looking forward to getting back to the gym. Is it next week, Lids? When are you going? Tomorrow. Apparently she's going to the gym tomorrow. So there we are. Pick a Mix have just joined us. So good evening, Pick a Mix. I hope you're all raring to go tonight. Ian's going in the morning. Well, my daughter, Lydia's going in the morning, but not presumably to the same gym. You're going to Brandon. She'll be going to her own gym in Rugby somewhere. I'm not quite sure which one, but never mind. Ross has just joined us. He's saying, Ross Morley, Ross and Vic and the old bag. That's what I like to see, Ross. Right, great to see you, and I hope you're going to enjoy tonight's quiz. Dave and Anne Anderson have just joined us from a sunny Essex. So good evening to Dave and Anne. I hope you're all well. And we now have Ian, Anthony, James and Don Quizzotti. They're signing in from all sorts of venues. They're signing in from London, Manchester, Upper Lower Hill Morton and Lower Hill Morton, with consultancy coming from mid-Lancashire. Oh, good. Well, there's a good Lancashire question in there tonight, so I hope that might come your way, but we'll see. Now, Don Quizzotti were very close to winning last week. They were picked in the end by Quizzy Rascals, the Teasers and Carol Green, but they managed 66 points, so well done to them. Sarah has just joined us, so that's Sarah, Russ, James and Joe, I hope, a full team tonight. You'll have to let me know, Sarah, what you've got. She's saying, hello, Nick, hope you're all well. We are well, thankfully. And now, this week, of course, or last week, should I say, technically, it depends whether we're just having an argument about that, whether you classify Sunday as the beginning of the new week or Monday as the beginning of the new week. Anyway, whatever. Of course, it was the demise of poor Prince Philip. And, of course, we were a bit disappointed because we were watching the news. I was compiling my quiz, as you do. And there I was, sat there at 4 in the afternoon, listening to the sad news coming through. And then it was repeated at 5 o'clock and then at 6 o'clock. I wouldn't mind so much, but they'd actually stopped all other programming on all the channels. So Channel 1, BBC 2, ITV, Channel 4 and 5 were all doing blanket coverage of the death of Philip. And the problem was it was all the same stuff on all the channels. So, yes, I was a bit disappointed with that. Oh, you would have thought they'd have left one channel free for all the other people, but never mind. That's one of those. A lot of royalists might think otherwise, but now we have 65 teams online at the moment to take part in tonight's quiz. So let me just go through tonight's round. We're starting off tonight. Round number 1 is entitled Sunday, the 11th April. Sunday, 11th April. That gives you 15 possible questions and answers, well, 15 possible answers to the first 15 questions. So we take the initial letters of the word SUNDAY, 11THAPRIL. Sunday, 11th April. So round 1 will have 15 answers. Round number 2 tonight is entitled a mystery letter round. Now, mystery letter round, as we all know, all the answers start with the same letter. I think that most of them are. No, they're not. No, let's forget that. They start with the same letter, and unless I'm persuaded otherwise, and I don't tell you the letter, all you've got to do is work out that letter, and then you can work your answers backwards to suit. Round number 3 tonight is entitled Me, M-E. It's nothing to do with me, obviously. All the answers, basically, they're 10 general knowledge questions themed around the word me. Well, something to do with me anyway, or close to me. Round number 4 tonight is a connections round. Again, 9 general knowledge questions plus a final question asking for a connection between the previous 9 answers. Round number 5 is entitled an initial letter link. You'll know how that works. Again, we take 10 questions, general knowledge, where the answer to the final question can be spelt out by rearranging the first letter of the first words in the first 9 answers. Right, then let's see who else has just joined us. We have Diane's just joined us. So Pinky and Perky are now online. Pinky and Perky, another cracking score last week, 61.5 points for Pinky and Perky. Well played, you. Trish, the Ridgeways of Sunny Welton are checking in. Again, the Ridgeways had a cracking run last week, 63 points for the Ridgeways. Well played, you. Carol Green, she was a runner-up last week with a fantastic 67 points. So well played, Carol. Cornish Tyke signing in, sunny but cold, with the occasional hail shower. Yes, we've had, it wasn't really hail. I'm not sure what it was. It was kind of powdery snow, really. Robin said the word that you were grasping for earlier was sleet. Thank you, Robin. That's probably what it was. It's funny, sometimes you hit a brick wall and forget what the hell you're on about, but never mind. It happens more often now than it used to years ago, but never mind. It's not easy to carry on speaking for 15 minutes non-stop. Lydia saying, evening all, I hope you're well. PRS have just joined us, so good evening to Matthew and Claire. I hope you're fine, and I hope Barney is sitting up watching at least the first round of tonight's quiz so that he can broaden his depth of knowledge. Gareth Williams, Gaz and Bean are here from Burton-on-Trent. Great to see Gaz and Bean back with us. Lovely to see you. I hope all is well in Burton-on-Trent. Mick has just joined us. Mick and Bev from sunny Bilton. Great to see you, Mick. I hope your knowledge of rugby union's good. There's at least one question in there tonight. Sarah saying yes, they've got a full team. John O'Rourke's just joined us from the Famous Five. Now, the Famous Five, again, they did very well last week. They ended up on 60.5 points, so well played, the Famous Five. I hope you're keeping well and raring to get back to the pub to do some quizzing, I suppose, in the next month or so. We'll see. Ian has said he's got his black armband on tonight. Now, what's that all about? It can't be that fantastic win for Man United. It must be something to do with Burnley, or it could be to do with Prince Philip, of course. You'll have to let me know, Ian. Chris Meads is saying good evening, Nick and Lids. And the Quizzy Rascals have just joined us. Now, as I said earlier, the Quizzy Rascals were the team to beat last week. 68.5 points last week they managed. So I'm sure they will want to try and repeat that score from last week, but a fantastic result for them. Well played. Keith Mitchell also, he's just signed in. He's saying, hi, Nick, from sunny Minehead, Glynis and Keith. Well, they did very well as well last week. As I recall, somewhere down here, I've got it, Keith's down now. Where is it? Where did he score last week? I've lost you, Keith, but never mind. You were down here. I'm sure you were. 60.5 points, I think. So well played, you. Ian's just joined us, Mike Yates has also just joined us. Good evening, Mike. I hope you're keeping well and ready to do some quizzing tonight. Footy Fox 86 have also just joined us, so good evening to everyone. They're saying, Home Alone 6, hi, Nick. We're all here. That's what I like to see. Michelle's just joined us. Michelle, good evening, everybody. Charlie, James, and myself all signing in from Crick. Now then, yes, I must show everybody this one quickly because Michelle kindly has done a nice, or she's managed to get somebody to do a black and white, what do they call these things, Ange? Caricature of me doing the quiz. So here we are. Now then, side by side, what do you reckon? I know what he's missed. He's missed the glasses, hasn't he? Never mind. Thank you very much for that, Michelle. Very kind of you. And I will give you some feedback on that when I get time round to it. I'm sorry, I've been busy doing my quiz all afternoon or trying to hone it, but never mind. Stuart saying, Nick, do you have any opening plans tomorrow? No, we don't, Stuart. Unfortunately, we are staying closed until May when hopefully there's going to be good relaxation and we can open indoors properly. I do think opening prematurely is going to be a problem. Not least, we're going to need probably more staff than we need. Also, the fact we can't gauge, certainly at the beginning of the weeks, Mondays are a bit of a waste of time anyway. Anyway, that's by the by. We've decided to wait until May and see how it goes. I mean, we've been closed so long, it's really not going to make much difference to anybody at this stage. Ian saying, Bert Backer wrote close to you. Oh, thank you. Dean, that's your 2-minute silence, says Dean. Well, we could have a 2-minute silence before the quiz starts. 1 minute. Robert Smith of the Cure wrote close to me. Oh, Jill Pugh's just joined us. So good evening, Jill and Steve. I hope you're both keeping well in sunny Middletoft. Carol's saying I missed Wednesday because I went for an evening walk, so I was actually on the southwest coastal path watching the sunset over Trevose Head while you were asking the question about it. Well, there we have it. Yes, for everybody that missed that question, the Southwest Coastal Path, apparently at 600 and some odd miles long, is the longest path in the United Kingdom. Right then, everybody, it is now 2015. We've got 78 people concurrently online at the moment. So without further ado, if you can make sure all your teams are ready, we will start the quiz. Now, do remember, round number one, all we do is use the initial letters of the word Sunday, 11th April, Sunday 11th April. So first answer will start with the letter S. Now let's hope this first round isn't too testing. There's one or two testing questions, but nothing too bad for you to start us off. So question number one, a component of most telephone, internet and mobile service systems. What does the abbreviation SMS stand for? So a component of most telephone, internet and mobile device systems. What do the abbreviation SMS stand for? Now, do remember, whilst we're doing the quiz, you can chat to each other. Jokes are always a good thing. What did we get on to last week? It wasn't sheep, was it? I can't remember. Or was it chocolate? We had a lot of chocolate jokes, I think. Probably after the chocolate round last week, but never mind. Right, question number two, starting with the letter U. U. What is the Latin variant of the name Odysseus? He was the legendary Greek king of Ithaca and the hero of Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey. So starting with the letter U, what is the Latin variant of the name Odysseus? He was the legendary king of Ithaca and the hero of Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey. I think it was a very famous book also written. It's a completely different thing, but never mind. Question number three, starting with the letter N, literally translating as origin of the sun. What do the Japanese people call their own country? So question three again, starting with the letter N, literally translating as origin of the sun. What do the Japanese people call their own country? Just after a one-word answer. Nothing to catch you out there. Question number four is definitely for our Cornish tyke. Which English author and playwright who spent most of her life in Cornwall was responsible for works such as Rebecca, Jamaica Inn, and The Birds? Obviously, our first name starts with the letter D. So which English author and playwright who spent most of her life in Cornwall was responsible for works such as Rebecca, Jamaica Inn, and The Birds? The wife and I and Lydia, we all watched Rebecca the other week on the film, wasn't it? Oh, it's a fairly modern film. Yeah, a bit weird, but never mind. The modern type. Should have watched the original. Perhaps we did watch the original, I can't remember. Oh dear. That needs switching off and the hot water's come on. Question number five, starting with the letter A. It's a two-word answer. You'll get to, I'll give you the second name anyway in this question. What is the name of a breed of dog which originates from Yorkshire? They are known as the King of Terriers and were originally bred to catch otters and rats, apparently. So question number five, what is the name of a breed of dog which originates from Yorkshire? They are known as the King of Terriers and were originally bred to catch otters and rats. Apparently, they're the largest in the breed as well. But that made the question too long. One word will do, suffice if you like. Starts with the letter A, and obviously it's a type of terrier. Question number six, starting with the letter Y. What was the name of the first man to travel into space, becoming world famous when he did so on the 12th of April, 1961 in Vostok 1? What's the input? I think Elton John bring a newish song out. Question number 7 starts with the number 1. It's a 2-digit answer. What is the number given to the fullback in a rugby union team formation? So question number 7 again. What is the number given to the fullback in a rugby union team formation? How well do you know your rugby union? I personally wouldn't have known that because then I'm not a big rugby union fan. Perhaps I ought to be. Wait a minute. In the 1950s, John Osborne wrote about the Essex Ditch. It's called Look Back in Ongar. Book Lack in Ongar. Nice one, Robin. Very clever. In the 1950s, John Osborne wrote a play about an Essex district whose libraries ran out of stock. It was called Book Lack in Ongar. Dear, dear. Oh, Mick Roberts to say he's played in that position a few times, so you should know that one then, Mick. Question number 8. The letters M, C, X, L, I represent what decimal number in the Roman numeral classification system? I don't know whether I've got that right, actually. I probably doesn't read properly. I just need the number that M, C, X, L, I, you might want to write that down, represent in the decimal number system. Just one for you to work out. Not too tricky, I don't think. Although it's easy to get Roman numerals back to front, I know. I only know too well. We always had somebody in our team, Roger, and I don't think he's playing tonight, but he was always good at working out Roman numerals. He had some kind of system. I don't know what it was. Then he probably was old enough to be a Roman, I suppose. But right then, question number 9 starts with the letter T. What name was given to the teleportation machine used in the Star Trek science fiction franchise? Especially when Captain Kirk said, beam 'em up, Scotty. So what was the name given to the teleportation machine used in the Star Trek science fiction franchise? It starts with the letter T, one word answer. Pretty straightforward, that one. For anybody that's ever watched Star Trek. Actually, they had William Shatner. He was on the One show the other night, wasn't he? And you wouldn't believe how old he was, I have to say. He only looked like he was in his 60s, 70s maybe, but he's in his 80s. Yes, he'd have many facelifts. Never watched it, Paula. What, Star Trek? Classic. Have you never watched any of the films either? Question number 10. Starting with the letter H, it's a 2-word answer. Which birds nest in a neat closed convex cup, often fixed below the eaves of a building? It's constructed by both sexes with mud pellets collected in their beaks and lined with grasses or other soft materials. Paula saying I kept minis. Well, it's a bit old to watch the original series, Paula. But if you watch, what's the one with Benedict? What's his name in it? Cumberbatch. That was worth watching. Star Trek. What? Star Trek Into Darkness. Find the one with Cumberbatch in it. That was okay. That'll bring you up to speed with it. Question number 11, starting with the letter A for April. Which trainer travelled the world with Muhammad Ali and was his cornerman in all but 2 of his professional fights? Question number 11 again. Which trainer travelled the world with Muhammad Ali and was his cornerman in all but 2 of his professional fights? That's a 2-word answer. Very famous person. Well, it is if you know the answer, I suppose. Question number 12, if for all you or any of you that are doing medicine at the moment. In humans, and probably other mammals as well, what name is given to the double-walled sac that contains the heart and the roots of the great blood vessels? So question 12 again. In humans and other mammals, I'm sure, what name is given to the double-walled sac that contains the heart and the roots of the great blood vessels? Don't know quite what the roots of the blood vessels are, but never mind. I presume that's mean the where they start. But never mind. That's a 1-word answer, starting with the letter P. Question number 13. In which Dutch city is the rescheduled Eurovision Song Competition due to take place, with the final to be broadcast live on the 22nd of May? It was supposed to take place last year in this venue, but they've rescheduled it for this year in the vain hope that it might be possible. So we will see. So question 13, starting with the letter R, in which Dutch city is the rescheduled Eurovision Song Competition due to take place, with the final to be broadcast live on the 22nd of May? And staying a little bit on that theme, question 14, starting with the letter I, which makes this dead easy, I'm sure. In March 2020, which European country became the first to implement a nationwide lockdown because of the COVID-19 virus? So question 14 again. In March 2020, which European country became the first to implement a nationwide lockdown because of the COVID-19 virus? Ah, that's right. That's supposed to read form, not for lids. Reaching its present form. Right, question number 15. Listen carefully, starting with the letter L to finish this round. Reaching its present form circa 400 BC. What is the 3rd book of the Torah and of the Old Testament? So question 15 again, reaching its present form about 400 BC. What is the 3rd book of the Torah and of the Old Testament? Obviously, the letter L makes that a lot easier for all us that went to Sunday school one time in our lives. Of course, it never helped if you never went there. Right then, everybody, that's the end of round 1. We've got 15 general knowledge questions there. I hope you've all fared reasonably well on that. Right, I'll read that. Oh dear. What you whispering, you two? I can't hear you. They're whispering. I can't hear what she's whispering. Right then, everybody, let's just go back to the beginning and we'll do some marking after that round and we'll see how we fare. Question number 1. The components of most telephone, internet, and mobile device systems. What does the abbreviation SMS stand for? That's short message service. Short message service. Question number 2. What is the Latin variant of the name Odysseus? That's Ulysses, of course, Ulysses. Number 3, literally translating as origin of the sun. Nippon was what I was after, Nippon. Number 4, of course, that English author was Daphne du Maurier, Number 5, apparently it's the Airedale Terrier. The Airedale that comes from Yorkshire, of course. It's the largest in the breed. Question number 6 was Yuri Gagarin, that first man that went into space. Number 7, the fullback is given the number 15, apparently, in the rugby union formation. Number 8, the letters MCXLI represent 1,141 in decimal. Question number 9, of course, in the Star Trek science fiction thing, it was a transporter. Beam them up in the transporter, Scotty. Question number 10, the bird's nest I wanted, starting with the letter H, is a house martin. Number 11, of course, the trainer that travelled the world with Muhammad Ali, and he was his quarterman from all but 2 professional fights, was Angelo Dundee. Number 12, in humans, what name is given to that double-wall sac that contains the heart? It's the pericardium. Number 13 was Rotterdam, of course, where the Eurovision Song Contest is due to take place. I'm sure we'll all be tuning into that, won't we? Question number 14 is Italy, of course, the first country that implemented the nationwide lockdown. And number 15, even, the 3rd book of the Bible. I think it goes Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. It was Leviticus, of course. Right, let's have some scores in, see how we're fared. Roy's just said, hey, Nick, Hillary wants me to take up boxing and has asked me to call that, what's that, Adrian? I think we're going through a rocky patch. Oh, dear. Was he Croc for the other 2 fights? I don't know. I didn't look to why he hadn't gone to the other 2 fights, but that's interesting. Right then, this is out of a possible 15, so let's see how we've scored. Squeaky Bob have dropped 1 point there on a fantastic 14. Carol Green's on a full 15, as is Mick Roberts. PRS are on 14. Weak Links, 15 only way. It's down the same. David and Annis are on 12. We've got Sarah and the gang on 13. Jed and Tracy on 14 points. We've got Michelle Gibbons, Charlie and James on 13 points. Mike Yates is on 12. We've got Ross Morley on 13. Clive and Janet, the teasers are on 15. Graham Gifford's on 14. That's Graham and Jane. We've got Fate. The Booby Prize Girls are on 13. Paula Lewis, 15 for the Quizzy Rascals. Pinky, even if they don't know about the transport, never mind. Pinky and Perky are on 11. We've got Ian Miller on 12. Keith Mitchell starts on a 13, as is Home Alone 6 on a 13. Gaz and Bean on 11. Well played them. The Famous 5, a very good start on 14. Debbie McCarthy also on 14. Split the difference, 15 points. Well played, split the difference. Jill and Steve Pugh, fantastic start on 13. We've got Crocodile Dundee. So, yeah, Kevin Kiernan, Rugby Rotary Club, are on 14 points. Well played them. Then we've got Penny Graham on 10. We've got Don Quizzotti and their team from North, South, East and West on 13 points. Harry, Julie, Ian and his bottle of Shiraz have started very well on 15 points, as has Team UK USA on a fantastic 15 points. Footy Fox 86 on 8. We've got Ian Miller on 12. We've got the Ridgeways. They've done very well. Trish and Paul and Anthony on 13. Georgie Lambert and the Rory on 12 for the Yorkies, with Pick and Mix on 13 points. So everybody's well in the running tonight. And, yes, some great scores there. Well played, everybody. Certainly, if you're only dropped a point or 2, you're doing very well indeed. Now, round number 2 is a mystery letter round. These tend to build because often they start with some difficult questions. They get a little bit easier. But once you can work out the question, not the question, you can work out the mystery letter, then they all become a little bit easier, I hope. So here we go. Question number 1 is a 2-word answer, which makes it a bit tricky, this, but never mind. According to both the Daily Express and the BBC, where had Prince Philip requested that he would like to be buried? So question number 1, according to both the Daily Express and the BBC, where had Prince Philip requested that he would have liked to have been buried? Whether the Queen will like that or not, I don't know, but we'll see. Right then, starting with the same letter. Question number 2. Who was sponsored by Spain to travel west across the Atlantic in search of the East Indies? In doing so, his expedition became the first from Europe to cross the Pacific Ocean and circumnavigate the world. That's a 2-word answer. I need both his names. So who was sponsored by Spain to travel west across the Atlantic in search of the East Indies? In doing so, his expedition became the first from Europe to cross the Pacific Ocean and circumnavigate the world. Question number 3 is one of those rather daft quiz questions you get occasionally. And it's one that you just got to put in the memory bank when it comes up. What is the name of the metal band on the end of a pencil that holds in the rubber? That's if you've got a rubber on the end of your pencil, so to speak. So what is the name of the metal band on the end of a pencil that holds in the rubber? There must be a special machine to do that, mustn't there? Stick the metal band round, stick the rubber in, metal band round. Must be a very clever machine to do all that work, I suppose, but never mind. Just to get you a box of pencils. Question number 4. Do you remember all these answers got to start with the same letter? Which of the 4 stations that can be found on the standard UK Monopoly board is actually furthest south? Now, obviously, if you can name the stations and you've got the letter, it's easy. So which of the 4 stations that can be found on a standard UK edition Monopoly board is actually furthest south? Come on, everybody. I haven't had many jokes tonight so far. I've had Robbins pitched in with a couple of Ian House, and so has Roy. Question number 5. Good history question, this one. I'm sure you'll all know this. What was the final place of imprisonment of Mary, Queen of Scots, who was tried and executed there in 1587? So question 5 again. What was the final place of imprisonment of Mary, Queen of Scots, who was tried and executed there in 1587? They didn't muck about then, did they? In the good old days, the kings or queens used to just chop their heads off and be done with it. They fell out with them. Question number 6. For all you people that like your cars, which car manufacturer produced the 250 California, which was designed for open-top driving? So question number 6 again. Which car manufacturer produced the 250 California, which was designed for open-top driving? To give you a clue, it's a 1950s car. Right then, I hope some of you now have got the letter that you need. Do remember all these answers start with the same letter. Roy hasn't asked me what the letter is yet, and I'm not telling you, Roy. Question number 7. What was the one-word title of the debut studio album by the English singer George Michael, which was released on the 30th of October, 1987? So question 7 again. What was the one-word title of the debut studio album by the English singer George Michael, which was released on the 30th of October, 1987? Definitely got that on CD somewhere, probably up in the loft at the moment, but never mind. Question number 8 makes sense, I suppose, this one. When you listen to the question, what was the name of a French gold coin minted in 1360 to celebrate the release of the French king Jean III, the second even, who had been held by the English since his capture at the Battle of Poitiers 4 years earlier? I think it's Poitiers, could be Poitiers. Poitiers. Never very good at pronouncing French anyway. What was the name of the French gold coin minted in 1360 to celebrate the release of the French king Jean II, who had been held by the English since his capture at the Battle of Poitiers 4 years earlier? It's just a one-word answer I'm after, starting with that mystery letter, which I'm sure you'll have all got by now. Now, if you haven't got the mystery letter yet, question number 9 will give you a good clue. In the old nursery rhyme, 3 blind mice, who do the mice run after before having parts of their anatomies severed with a carving knife? So question number 9 again, in the old nursery rhyme, 3 blind mice, who do the mice run after before having parts of their anatomies severed with a carving knife? And as that definitely should have given you the letter, this should make it fairly easy. Question number 10. What is a weight class of 57 to 60 kilograms in the combat sports of boxing, kickboxing, mixed martial arts, and Greco-Roman wrestling? So question 10 again. What is a weight class of 57 to 60 kilograms in the combat sport of boxing, kickboxing, mixed martial arts, and Greco-Roman wrestling? Again, just a one-word answer, starting with that mystery letter. Right, you should have 10 answers, all starting with this mystery letter. Number 1's a bit tricky, I have to say, but never mind. The rest, I'm sure, should all fall into place. Now, I'm sure there's a few of you will be doing a bit of head scratching over that round. Do remember, all the answers start with the same letter, so make sure that everybody in the team is agreed on what answers you're going to put down, and then we'll do some marking in a minute. Now, what's everybody drinking tonight? Tonight, I'm back on the, what am I on tonight? I'm on the Citra at the moment from Oakham's. I know Oakham are back up and brewing anyway. They haven't stopped since, well, for the last 6 months they've been selling lots and lots of bottled beers. Whether they can get back into brewing for the actual industry or not, it's a different matter. We'll see. Clive and Janet from the Teasers are asking for another minute. That's no problem. Mick Roberts is saying he's on the plum porter. Clive's just said, as a mark of respect, Prince Andrew is to wear his trousers at half-mast. Oh dear. Like a drop of Citra, says Ross. It is a great beer. You can't go wrong with that, can you? Especially as they're doing a 4 for £6 at Tesco's, which has been ongoing for a while, and you get your club points as well or something. I don't know. Dean's just saying, thought that was the Prime Minister. Dear. Who else is in hot bother at the moment? David Cameron. He seems to be getting a bit of backlash at the moment, doesn't he? Now, what's the betting on Meghan getting over for the funeral then? 100 to 1? 200 to 1? What do we reckon? Oh, by the way, did anybody win on the Grand National yesterday? We did. Oh dear. We had put a pound on the top, I think 3 or 4 horses, and just a pound on each, and we won a magnificent £12 back after a £5 bet in all. So Right then, everybody, does anybody need any extra time to try and work those out? Yes, Paula saying she's pregnant, so I doubt, so heavily pregnant, so I doubt she would risk flying. Yeah, you're probably right, Paula. That's why I put it at about 100 to 1, you know. Would we let anybody in from COVID-ridden United States of America? I don't know. Sorry, Lisa. Of course. Yeah. Oh, dear. Okay, says Clive and Janet. Right, I've been given the okay to do some marking after that round. Right then, number one was the hard one, according to both the Daily Express and BBC. Where was Prince Philip? Where had he requested that he would like to have been buried? That's in Frogmore Gardens. Frogmore Gardens, which is part of Windsor Castle, I have to say. But obviously, it's got to start with the letter F, so Frogmore Gardens was what I was after. Number two was Ferdinand Magellan, who circumnavigated the world. Number three is called a ferrule, that little bit of metal that holds the pencil in the end, or the rubber in the end of your pencil. Number four, of course, is Fenchurch Street on the Monopoly board, worth £200. Number five, the final place of imprisonment for Mary Queen of Scots was Fotheringhay. Well, Fotheringhay Castle, actually. Number six, which car manufacturer produced the 250 California? I think it was 1957. It was Ferrari, and a fine-looking car it was. I bet they're worth an absolute fortune today if you can get hold of one. Number seven, that debut solo album for the English singer George Michael was Faith. Number eight was the Frank, of course, the Frank. Number nine was the Farmer's Wife. The mice were running after. And finally, number 10, it's the featherweight class, which is 57 to 60 kilograms. So well done if you got that. Oh, here we go. Robin's just said Meghan's doctor has advised against it. But he has, according to the Radio 4 News this morning. Oh dear, Clive saying the Grand National female gets credit, though the male won after being brutally whipped. By a female, that's fair enough. Right then, the scores are in. We've got Ian Miller on, fantastic. And then wait a minute, what have we got? Total could be 25, isn't it? Ian Miller's on 21. We've got David Ann Anderson on 21 points as well. The Giffords are doing remarkable. That's Jane and Graham on 24 points. Well played, you. Mick Roberts is on 23. The Wheat Links have also moved on to 23 points with Jen and Tracy on 24 points. The Rugby Rotary Club, they've moved on to 23 points. Carol Green's now on 24 with PRS also on 24. John O'Rourke and the Famous Five are on 23 points. We've got Squeaky Bob on 21. Harry Julian and his bottle of jam, they've added 10 to their score and are on magnificent 25. Well done if you got Frogmore. What's it? I have to say, I thought that was a bit beyond most of us, but never mind. Jill and Steve Pugh, fantastic score for Middletoft on, I've just lost it, 21 points. As is Sarah, Russ, James and Joe from our Worcester contingent on 21 points. Keith Mitchell's on 20. We've got Penny Graham on 17. Michelle, Charlie and James are on 18 points. We've got Georgie and Rory for the Yorkies there on 19 points. Trish and Paul, along with Anthony, are on 22 points. We've got Clive and Jack at the teasers. They need that extra bit of time to get 25 points. Well played them. Home Alone 6 on 21. We've got Guz and Bean on 18 points. Ross Morley's moved on to 21 points. We've got the Quizzy Rascals, 25 points. Ian Anthony James and Don Quixote, they've moved on to 22. Footy Fox 86 is on 15. We've got Split the Difference on 25 points. Pick a Mix have moved on to 21. We got Faye saying the Booby Prize girls, they've moved on to 17 for the pair of us. Pinky and Perky have moved on to 19 with Debbie McCarthy, each a fantastic 23 points. Mike Yates also doing very well on 22 points. Lisa, she's saying Team UK, USA 21, dropped a few that time. What a shame. Never mind, Lisa. Right there was quite a lot of English history there, I suppose, but never mind. Round number 3 is entitled Me. Me, okay? So 10 general questions themed around the word, well, not necessarily around the word me, but something to do with me. You'll get the idea as we get there. So question number 1, here we go. What was the title of the Beatles' first UK hit single? I will give you the choice. Was it Please, Please Me, Love Me Do, or From Me to You? So question 1 again. What was the title of the Beatles' first UK hit single? I'll give you the choice. Was it Please Please Me, Love Me Do, or From Me to You? All great songs, but which was the first? I could burst into song at this time, but I won't, because I'll be ridiculed for the quality of my singing, of course. Question number 2. Which major river runs through the Tibetan Plateau, through China, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam? So question 2 again. Which major river, I think it's the 10th longest in the world, just if you want that, runs from the Tibetan Plateau through China, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam? Gareth, do you know? I don't know. I thought of that myself when I was asking the question. I'm pretty sure it was the first number 1 hit single. Yes, but I will be corrected by that. I shouldn't say things like that. I should have done my research a little bit better. I think it was the first number 1, but yeah, let's go with the first number 1. Andrew's going to correct me in a minute. Yeah. What? Was it right? Question number 3. The Me Too movement began to spread virally in 2017 after sexual abuse allegations were made by over 80 women against which film producer? I noticed he was appealing this week, I think, in the news. So question number 3 again. The Me Too movement began to spread virally in 2017 after sexual abuse allegations were made by over 80 women against which film producer? Question number 4 for all you fans of animated film. What is an animated media franchise centering on Gru, a reformed supervillain, and his yellow-coloured minions? So question 4 again. What is an animated media franchise centering on Gru, a reformed supervillain, and his yellow-coloured minions? Do remember, the word me is somewhere either in the question or the answer. Well, not necessarily the word me. I'm saying that very loosely. As question number 5 will prove. Question number 5, another film. You'll like this one. What is a 2008 romantic comedy film and theatre show containing music from the pop group ABBA with additional music composed by ABBA member Benny Andersson? Yeah, well, that does stretch it a bit, doesn't it? Okay. So question number 5 again. What is a 2008 romantic comedy film and theatre show containing music from the pop group ABBA with additional music composed by ABBA member Benny Andersson? Although it's probably pronounced Benny Andersson or something like that. Benny Andersson. Question number 6. Previously part of Yugoslavia and using the code .yu or U, me or .me is now the internet top-level domain code for which country? Oh dear. Yes, you could write a Wikipedia piece on that, Robin. The list of accents that Nick can't pronounce: French, German. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, at least I've been to Sweden. I tried to speak that language. So question 6 again. Previously part of Yugoslavia and using the code .yu, .me is now the internet top-level domain code for which country? That's presuming you know what a top-level domain code is. Right, question number 7. Another question to do with computing. Released in 2000, the Microsoft operating system Windows ME was released as a successor to which other of their operating systems? Robin, Swedes do speak English better than we do. Unfortunately, they speak in a Swedish accent, which doesn't mean to say they don't know the words. It just means they use the incorrect inflections, surely. Oh, dear. So question 7 again. Released in 2000, the Microsoft operating system Windows ME was released as a successor to which other of their operating systems? And question number 8. ME is a long-term illness with a wide range of symptoms and is most associated with extreme tiredness. It is also known as CFS, but what do the initials CFS stand for? Windows ME, and it was pants, said Martin. I tend to agree, Martin. I never did get my head around ME very well. I don't think it was very good. Too many problems with that. It was at that time, you know, wasn't it a question we had the night that Bill Gates was actually the richest man in the world? From 1990 something to 2007, I think, every year. So clearly he was making some money out of it, or his company was anyway. Question number 9. Oh, this is a good old question. This is a good question. You used to watch this the afternoon when I was at the shop when we didn't have any customers coming in. What do the letters M and E stand for in the title of the TV series Quincy? Oh, dear. Oh, that's a dreadful question. So what do the letters M and E stand for in the title of the TV series Quincy ME? It was Quincy ME. Sure, Rory and Georgia will get that one. Surely you've watched Quincy. Roy will know that straight away. He must have been a big Quincy fan. Watched a lot of it, did you? No, it just came on. Oh dear. Never. Oh, I see. Georgie is saying we haven't watched Quincy, but my nana has, thankfully. You haven't said your nana was playing with you tonight. Well, obviously not the biblical sense, but Nana, give us a thumbs up. I'll give you the thumbs up. You haven't told me her name, Georgie. At least she can be part of the team then when I say Georgie. Or do you want me to just say Rory, Georgie and Nana? Can do. Well done, Nana, for knowing that one. Right, finally, question number 10. ME postcode area is a group of postal districts around which conurbation and unitary authority in Kent? Oh dear, they're all coming up. Thank heavens for that, Joe. Brilliant series, says Jen Tracy. Brilliant. Oh dear. Georgie says she's called Linda. Right. Thanks, Linda, for that one. They needed that one. So question 10 again for all you people that live near Kent. We've got a couple of teams from Essex, so they're not far away. The ME postcode area is a group of postal districts around which conurbation and unitary authority in Kent. Just a one-word answer for that. Looking for an ME postcode area. Well, there we have it. There were 10 questions, something to do with M-E or me, even if one of them wasn't spelt M-E, but never mind. Dave's just said it also helps being a postman. So not only living in Essex then, Dave, delivering mail to Kent, don't tell me. No, you must be working in the sorting office. That works well. There was a guy that we meet every year when we go to India on holiday. This guy knows every postcode in the United Kingdom. You've only got to ask him. He asks you, he comes up to you, wanders up to you on the beach, and he says, his party piece is, where do you come from? Obviously, he can spot Brits a mile away. And if you say Peterborough, he'll give you the postcode. If you say Rugby, he'll give you the postcode. If you say Cambridge, he'll give you the postcode. Absolutely amazing, wasn't he, Ange? Yeah. Unfortunately, he kind of bumps into you all over the place. tries to sell you his bird watching tours and his and his cooking things with his wife, but never mind. Right, here we go then. Do we need any? Oh my goodness, Ian's saying going for a drink, spiced rum tonight. Excellent. What's the latest? Be quite cloudy. What's that? What? Say it again. Just speak up a bit. I'm covering it. Just speak. Oh, right. Okay. Well, which one went to number one? That's all I want to know. Sorry, just discussing question number one. Apparently it's a bit too vague, and I'm looking at it, it probably is too vague. I expect it means it's the first, rather than the hit, it's probably the first one that went to number one. So let's base our answer on that one, and if I'm wrong, well, one of them's got to be right, and then you can correct me, can't you? Right, wait a minute. What's this? Going for a drink with Spiceman. Sounds like an interesting guy. Who's that? Sorry. Comedian Helen used to say, I was always trying to ask him. Right then, everybody. Yeah, sorry, there's quite a few comments there, and I'll try and let's do the answers first, and then I'll read those through properly. Right then, question number one. This was in the me round. These are 10 answers, or the ones I've got. What was the title of the Beatles' first UK hit single? It was probably the first number one I had. I was after. Well, I'm not sure, but we'll see. The answer I've got is Love Me Do, Love Me Do. So do correct me if that was their first number one hit single, but I think it probably was. Number two, of course, that Major River, 10th longest in the world, apparently, is the Mekong. Number two, number three, even the Me Too movement. Of course, that was the film producer Harvey Weinstein. Number three, I was after Despicable Me, which was that franchise with the little yellow coloured minions. Number five, that was a bit tricky. That was Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia. Not really spelt right, but never mind. Number six is Montenegro. Montenegro, of course, is .me. Number seven, Windows ME. Was the successor to Windows 98. Number 8, ME is a long-term illness. CFS stood for Chronic Fatigue Syndrome. Chronic Fatigue Syndrome. That was a tricky one. Number 9, what do the letters M and E stand for in the title of the TV series Quincy? ME, that's Medical Examiner. And number 10, ME postcode, of course, is for Medway. Medway. Right, then we've got, let's just have a look. Let's get some scores in. Was I right? Yeah, quite. I think number one. I'm not quite sure. What's that? Oh, right. So it wasn't that then. So what was their first hit? Maybe I made a mistake on the first one. So apparently Love Me Do didn't get to number one, which I thought it did. What was the title of the Beatles' first UK hit single? Yeah, okay. I probably got that completely wrong. So let's scrub that question altogether. If I was wrong with that one, I'm sorry about it. We'll scrub that question. So possible 9 in that round. So sorry about that. I think I've made a bit of a cock up with that one, but never mind. Let's have some scores in. Well, no, we'll leave it as love me do. It doesn't really matter. Let's leave as was. Let's just assume that love me do was something to do with the question I asked. And if you got it wrong, so be it. That's it. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's only a point after all. It means you've got to catch up, doesn't it? So what the hell? Right, let's have some scores in and see how you've all done. Squeaky Pop end up with a fantastic 29 points. Well done, Squeaky Pop. We've got the Weak Links. They've moved on to 31. Mick Roberts is now on 29. Ross Moore is on 30. We've got David Ann Anderson on 28. Georgie Lambert, wait a minute. Georgie, Rory, and Linda have now moved on to a 28 points for the Yorkies. We've now got 34 for the Quizzy Rascals. Well played, the Quizzy Rascals. Sarah, Russ, and Joe and James around 29 points. We've got Ian and Auntie James on Don Quizzotti and all the rest of the team on 32 points. Home Loan 6 have moved on to 30 points. We've got Jed and Tracy on 32. The Famous Five are on 30. Pick a Mix who moved on to 29. We have 29. Oh, bother. It's gone off my screen. Sorry. Penny Graham's moved on to 24. Mike Yates doing very well tonight on 31, as is Team UK USA, also on 31 points. We've got Keith Mitchell and Glennis on 29 points. Michelle Gibbons on a fantastic 27. That's Michelle, Charlie, and James. Jane Gibbons, Love Me Do was the first hit, but From Me to You was their first number 1. Right. Oh, well, that's what I asked in the first place, obviously. So, Love From Me to Do, yeah, clearly. Fame McSorley and the Big Providers Girls are on 25. We've got the Rugby Roach Club. They moved on to 31 points. Jill and Steve Pugh, they're doing very well on 28 points. We have PRS on 33 points. Clive and Janet the Teasers, however, on 34 points. Debbie McCarthy's moved on to 31. Graham Gifford's now on 33. PRS correction, never mind. Mike Yates, 30. If we lose question 1, no, we're not going to lose question 1, Mike. We're going to leave as is. Pink and Perky on 38. Well played, Pinky and Perky. They're well in the lead by the looks of things. The Giffords, 33 points. Well played. What's Ian put? Ian Miller's, he's saying 27 points. Yeah, Ian's also saying Love Me Do was the first Beatles hit. Well, that's exactly what I said in the first place, wasn't it? Maybe it was a little vague, but never mind. I didn't. No, I didn't. I said, what was the title of the Beatles' first UK hit single? Never mind. Right, sorry about that. Carol Green's on 33. PRS have moved on to 34. Pinky and Perky. Oops, I mean 28, she's saying. Well done, Diane. Harry, Ian and his bottle of Shiraz, they've moved on to 35 points. Well played, Ian. Trisha Ridgway, that's Paul and Anthony are on 30 points. We've got Gaz and Bean on a fantastic 24 points. Footy Fox, 86, they've moved on to 21 points. Split the difference, yet to drop a point as well on 35. Robin saying, what is the definition of a hit single? I'm not sure, Robin. I'm sorry about that. And Rugby Road Club correction, 32. As I say, we will allow, Love Me Do was what I was after, really. I am not quite sure what the definition of a hit single is. It probably means it charted or got into the top 100 of the charts or something. Anyway, round number 4. Sorry about that question. Round number 4. 9 questions on general knowledge plus a final question asking for a connection between the previous 9 answers. Ian saying, Love Me Do got to number 14. Definitely a hit. Oh, well, thank you for that, Ian. Right, let's crack on with the connections round. 9 questions on general knowledge plus a final question asking for a connection between the previous 9 answers. So question number 1, which James Bond film starring Roger Moore features the character Hugo Drax and Dr. Holly Goodhead? Roy's saying, I think we all need help. You're right. That was another hit single, wasn't it, Roy? I'm not quite sure. I'm sure that's why you've asked it. Didn't we have Drax in last week's quiz? We did, didn't we? Biggest power station in the United Kingdom. Well, currently the biggest power station in the United Kingdom. So question 1 again, which James Bond film starring Roger Moore features the characters Hugo Drax and Dr. Holly Goodhead. Question number 2, dead easy this one. According to a well-known proverb, too many what spoil the broth? So according to a well-known proverb, too many what spoil the broth? Question number 3, if you go out as much as I do, cycling on your bike, you see these all over the place. Question number 3, the most common bird of prey in the United Kingdom is the common what? It's not an hawk. So question 3, the most common bird of prey in the United Kingdom is the common what? Question number 4. It could be the booby. Question number 4. An alternative name for the West German left-wing militant organisation, the Red Army faction, features the surnames of 2 of its key figures. One of these surnames is Meinhof. What is the other? So question 4 again, an alternative name for the West German left-wing militant organisation, the Red Army faction, features the surnames of 2 of its key figures. One of these surnames is Meinhof. What is the other? Faye saying we're not common. Ian, always retracted it, Faye. He wasn't directing it at you, I'm sure. There are many species of booby, you'll be pleased to know. We're talking of birds now, obviously. Question number 5, starting in 2010 on the show's 6,000th episode, Who Pushed PR was a storyline on which Australian TV soap opera? Don't like putting soap opera questions in because I know less about them than Beatles' first hits. But starting in 2010 on the show's 6,000th episode, Who Pushed PR was a storyline on which Australian TV soap opera? Question number 6. The waiting staff at which restaurant chain are primarily young women whose revealing outfits and sex appeal are played up and are a primary component of the company's image? Probably not very politically correct at the moment, but never mind. Question number 6 again. The waiting staff at which restaurant chain are primarily young women whose revealing outfits and sex appeal are played up and are a primary component of the company's image. What are you going to put for that one, Ian? We retracted his last one. Question number 7. What is the name of the site in Puxutawany, Pennsylvania, where a famous annual Groundhog Day celebration takes place? It's mentioned in the film, if you've ever seen the film. So what is the name of the site in a Puxutawany, Pennsylvania, where a famous annual Groundhog Day celebration takes place? Puxutawany. What a great place. What a great name for a place. Punxsutawney. Well done, Robin. I thought you'd get it right. I definitely should have written that as you've written it. I normally do. It's always best to try and pronounce it the way you think it should sound. The fact that it's completely wrong is a different matter. Punxsutawney, that sounds more like it. Well, you obviously know the answer to that one. So question number 8, also difficult to pronounce, but never mind. The title of the Kurt Vonnegut story, All the King's Horses, comes from a line in which nursery rhyme? So question number 8 again. The title of the Kurt Vonnegut short story, All the King's Horses, comes from a line in which nursery rhyme? Question number 9. I've changed a few of these in my time. What 7-letter word is used to refer to a type of loudspeaker that is designed to produce high-frequency sounds, typically of frequencies between 2 and 20 kilohertz? Vonnegut. I normally do all that, Robin. I should let you have a look at the quiz before I actually pronounce it. It's just I didn't put all my phonetically pronunciations in today, but never mind. Too busy writing it to realise there was something I couldn't pronounce whatsoever, but never mind. I'm sure BBC news presenters must spend hours reading all the stuff before they actually report it, but never mind. And of course, question number 10, look carefully at all your answers. And question 10 is, what is the connection between the previous 9 answers? What is the connection between the previous 9 answers? You need to look at them carefully. That's providing you've got them right. And there is a connection between them all somewhere. Robin says, I'll do that for Matthew. He ignores it. Yes. Matthew likes to try and pronounce like me, don't you, Matthew? Queen's English all the time. It's a bit like when I was trying to pronounce Llanfairpwll Gwyngyth by the lake by the church. Oh, God knows what it was. That Welsh thing that nobody can pronounce. I did actually learn it once and I've forgotten it since. Right, everybody. How are we doing with that little lot? It must be time to get onto the plum porter. We are up to round number 5. So that's the end of the connections round, which I hope you all enjoyed. Do remember, we do also do a quiz on a Wednesday night, which is also well attended. So do feel free to come and join us on a Wednesday night from 8 to 8:15 start as normal. It keeps the brain ticking. And of course, if you've enjoyed tonight's quiz, it's very easy for you to like it by hitting the like button. Now then, on a Sunday night, I like to try and get 40 likes. At the moment, I don't know what I'm on because my camera's in the way. Oh, no, it's not. It's in the way of something in the wrong way. No, I know what's in the way. My Microsoft Word. I've got 23 likes so far. So do feel free, because there's 80 of you online. Very easy to just hit the like button and say, I like it, Nick, even if nobody else does. Come on, Robin. Let's see whether we can hit the like button and take it up, hopefully, to 40 tonight. We'll see. What's that? Hopefully picture frames are open in rugby. Sadly, it's Pearly Queen's English. Oh, I see. Pearly Queen's English, yes. My mother always said I spoke the Queen's English very well. Better than any of my brothers, clearly. There's a spell in the Navy that did it, I think. That's what it was. Right then, everybody, let's do some marking after that remarkable round. He said knowingly. I hope you've all got a connection somewhere between that. So 9 questions on general knowledge plus a final question asking for the connection between the previous answers. I kind of missed the toilet flushing noise. Yes, I could reintroduce that, Ian. sorry if the high fidelity now of the audio is a bit discombobulating. It kind of catches us all out, doesn't it? But never mind. Oh well, you have to put up with my prosaic nature, I suppose, with all my drivel. Right, here we go then. The connections round. We started off, which James Bond film starring Roger Moore features the characters Hugo Drax and Dr. Holly Goodhead? Well done if you got Moonraker. Well done if you got Moonraker. Number 2, according to the old proverb, of course, too many cooks spoil the broth. Number 3, what's the most common bird of prey in the United Kingdom? It's the common buzzard. The common buzzard. You can often hear them going, ee, ee. No, they're a bit higher than that, isn't it, Andrew? From miles away. They make a good noise. You can often see them buzzing about, so to speak. Although I have to say the kites are coming back to their own. There's lots of them around at the moment. Question number 4, an alternative name for the West German left-wing militant organisation. Of course, it's the Baader-Meinhof group. The Baader-Meinhof group. So Baader was what I was after. Number 5 even. That soap opera was, of course, Neighbours. The PR was referring to Paul Robinson, apparently, who pushed PR. As I didn't watch it, I've got no idea what that was, but presumably they pushed him off somewhere high and he ended up brown bread, but I don't know. You'll have to correct me on that one, all you famous Neighbours watchers. Number 6, of course, was Hooters. I'm sure Ian got that straight away. Number 7 was Gobbler's Knob. Gobbler's Knob. Well done if you got that. It was the name of the site in... Oh, I can't pronounce it now. It was the site in Pennsylvania where the famous annual Groundhog Day celebration takes place. That's Gobbler's Knob. I've even found it on Google Earth, that. So it is a proper place. Question number 8, of course, the title of that short story came from Humpty Dumpty. Number 9, the 7-letter word used for a high-frequency drive unit and a loudspeaker is a tweeter. A tweeter. And, of course, the connection between these, they all start with an animal noise. We've got a moo, a coo, a buzz, a bar, a neigh, a hoot, a gobble, a hum, and a tweet. So there's something to do, loosely, with animal noises. So well done if you got that. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, see how you've fared. And first off, we've got Georgie and Rory and Linda, of course, with 37 for the Yorkies. So well played, the Yorkies. That's out of a total of 45 at the moment. PRS, however, they've still only dropped 1 point. They're doing very well tonight. So well done to Robin, Matthew and Claire on 44 points. We've got Sarah, Russ, James and Joe on 38. Home Alone 6 doing very well on 40 points. With the Wheat Links also on 40 points. Ross Morley's doing very well on 37. We've got Paula Lewis and the Quizzy Rascals. They're on 44 points. Well played, the Quizzy Rascals. Michelle, Charlie and James are on 36. We've got Don Quizzotti on 41 there. Still there or thereabouts. And the Giffords are doing very well from Upper Toft. That's Jane and Graham Gifford on 40 points, up a tough near Cambridge. Mick and Bev are doing very well on 37 with, it's just gone off my screen. Oh, bother. Sorry, Mick Roberts, Mick and Bev are on 37. We've got Gaz and Bean on 30. Jed and Tracy have moved on to 39 points. But however, Clive and Janet and their friends, the Teasers, they've all moved on to 44 points. David Anderson on 36. Ian Miller saying rubbish, 32, rubbish. John and Hillary and the gang and the famous five are on 38 points, still doing very well. Mike Yason on 36. We've got Penny Graham on 29. Squeaky Bob on 37. Footy Fox 86. They're doing very well on 26. We've got Carol Green. I could not do the connection. Never mind, I just cannot do the connections. Never mind, 41 points all the same, Carol. Leslie Barrett, I'm doing well up until then, he said. I was doing well up until then. You still haven't put your score down, Leslie. You'll be doing all right. You should never underestimate your own ability, he says knowingly. Devin McCarthy's moved on to 39. The Ridgeways have moved on to 39. That's Paul, Trish, and Anthony. Pink and Perky with Diane Alex are on 37 points. We've got Pick and Mix on 39 points. Keith Mitchell's on 36. That's Keith and Glynis against Steve and Jill Pugh. They are all related. They're both on 36, though miles apart. So well played. That could, let's see who can win tonight's battle then. We've got Split the Difference on 44 points. Well played, Split the Difference with Team UK, USA on 40. And the Rotary Club of Rugby doing really well tonight. Again on 40 points. Fame McFawley, she's saying, actually threw my pen across the kitchen when I heard that connection. Never mind, Faye. The cake was really good, you know. Fantastic. Ian's saying, nearly a swear word there. He's dropped a point. He's saying 44 points. They were on for a full house, but they've dropped a point. And he's saying, Bowl, Star, and Ox. Right, whatever that means. Faye saying they're on 31. Well played them. And Ross is saying, same here, Faye. He threw his pen across the room as well. Never mind, everybody. Just keep hold of your pens. I hope you haven't broken them. I went round to my mother-in-law's yesterday. I did a bit of work for her to this Jobsworth said he wouldn't work on the boiler in our attic, so I had to go and reboard the attic so that he felt safe, obviously repairing the boiler, which was only put in a few years ago. And in the meantime, I borrowed her pen and I'd lost it. And it was on the concrete outside while I was doing something. And I came back and I said, Gwen, I found your pen. Unfortunately, the only way I found it was the fact I'd stood on it and broke it in half. So there we have it. I found it all the same, even if it was in pieces. But never mind. Right then, round number 5, 10 questions on general knowledge, where the answer to the final question can be spelled out by rearranging the first letters of the first words in the first 9 answers. Let's hope there's nothing too tricky in the way of pronunciation as we go into this round. So, pretty straightforward. 10 general knowledge questions. Here we go then. Question number 1, what colour of most post boxes in the... No, I got that wrong. Question number 1 again. What was the colour of most post boxes in the United Kingdom before red was adopted as the standard colour in 1871? What was that? So what was the colour of most post boxes in the United Kingdom before red was adopted as the standard colour in 1871? I'm trying to remember what the name of the guy that invented Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4. Come on, somebody's going to tell me his name in a minute. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. Who designed most of the post boxes? It was some architect. My brother Steve might know that. Come on, Steve. Who was the architect that designed the post boxes? Mark 1, 2, 3, and 4. Anyway, that's by the by. Question number 2. Which country began its COVID-19 vaccination program in December 2020 when its Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu even, was vaccinated live on television? So question 2 again. Which country began its COVID-19 vaccination program in December 2020 when its Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, was vaccinated live on television? Perhaps I should do that, live vaccination, to make sure all quiz people take their vaccine. Doesn't do me any harm. Question number 3. What boy's name can also be used to mean an arm of a starfish? Now, we all know that starfish have generally 5, I think, arms, do they? Or was 6? I can't remember. I think it's 5. So what boy's name can also be used to mean an arm of a starfish? Gilbert Scott. That's it. Gilbert Scott. Well done, Clive and Janet. I knew somebody was out there that tip of my tongue. Was he an architect? I think he was an architect, wasn't he? Anyway, that's by the by. Question number 4. Oh, it's another Monopoly question. I know Mick Roberts loves these. What is the only property on the Monopoly board that represents a location that lies south of the River Thames? So what is the only property on a Monopoly board that represents a location that lies south of the River Thames? That's a good old quiz question. Well, it looks to me like we're going to be running the quiz at least for another 4 to 6 weeks before we get back to the pub. And it will be a great shame when I have to stop doing my online quizzes. He says, no, because I have enjoyed doing them. And thank you, everybody that's either sent me something, whether it be a card, a little present, a cake, or some drawings. It's been fantastic to have such support, I have to say. But I hope you've enjoyed them. Takes a little bit of to do 2 quizzes a week, I have to say. Trying to come up with new questions all the time, but we just get the old questions and rearrange them a bit, don't we? That's the answer. All right, question number 5. This is for you scientists. It's an anagram. Minute pun, or minute pun, is an anagram of which radioactive actinide metallic chemical element? So question number 5 again. Minute pun is an anagram of which radioactive actinide metallic element? That's a good one to try and work out. I suppose if you know what the last letters of most elements finish with, well, not most elements, but a lot of elements finish with, you might be able to work that one out. Yeah, I mean, Sunday night quizzes at the Victoria Inn, which a lot of you used to do. I think probably we're looking sometime beginning of June, and we'll see. What's that? And well, we'll see. Maybe end of June. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It might be a bit early then, but we'll see. I'll get a consensus of people that may want to come in, and we'll see. Right. Question number 6. Gemini and Cancer are the 2 zodiacal signs associated with which calendar month of the year? So question 6 again. Gemini and Cancer are the 2 zodiac signs associated with which calendar month of the year? Sure, some of us were born there. Oh, talking of that, is it anybody's birthday? I haven't sung a birthday to anybody. Do feel free if it's your birthday this week or yesterday or day before yesterday or next week. Before next Sunday, that is. And I'll see whether we can sing happy birthday to you. You know how important that is. Right, just testing the plum porter to see whether it's the same as last week's plum porter of fine ale whining standards. Ah, squeaky pub. I have my birthday this week, Thursday. What's that? Who's on Wednesday? Ah, yes. Well, I can sing that. Squeaky Bob. I'm going to be around on Wednesday because I can sing that one on Wednesday. Perhaps I should just sing it now and be done with it. Question number 7. This is a good one. This may be down Don Quixote. They've got somebody in their team for this question. At 53 miles long and with its estuary on the Irish Sea, which English city stands on the River Lune? Jackie's saying zodiac signs, really? Okay. So question 7 again. At 53 miles long and with its estuary on the Irish Sea, which English city stands on the River Lune? And question number 8. What was the name of the US political scandal that led to gate being commonly added to words to form the names of subsequent scandals? Like Pewgate, for instance. So what was the name of the US political scandal that led to gate being commonly added to words to form the names of subsequent scandals? I need you to get happy birthday on my phone, man, or on your phone in a minute, or somebody's phone. Question number 9. What name was given to the fictional, humorously incompetent policeman featured in the silent film slapstick comedies produced by Mack Sennett from his film company between 1912 and 1917? So question number 9, again, what was the name given to the fictional, humorously incompetent policeman featured in the silent film slapstick comedies produced by Mack Sennett for his film company between 1912 and 1917? 2-word answer. I'm sure we'll all have heard that one. Linda will now be educating the rest of her team. And finally, of course, the first letters of the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which woman who, after spending 8 years on it, dropped off the Forbes annual list of billionaires in 2012 due to an estimated £160 she donated to charity and to the high amount of tax she had paid. Fair play to her. So question number 10 again, the first letters of the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which woman who, after spending 8 years on it, dropped off Forbes annual rich list, basically a list of billionaires in 2012, due to an estimated £160 million she donated to charity and to the high amount of tax she paid. Fair play. Should give him plenty of it away. Right, there we have it. So that's 10 questions on general knowledge, where the last question asks you to take the initial letters of the previous. Jane, I need her initials and her surname. That helps somewhat. So I need her initials and her surname. Right then, I think it's probably a happy birthday then. Yeah. Unfortunately, my phone, which normally gives the happy birthday tune, is being used as my camera. Well, as you can tell, I'm very high definition. Well, medium definition, because my computer's not fast enough to do high definition, but never mind. Seems to have been behaving itself tonight, just about. So, oh, here we go. Oh, daughter's passing it over. Tracy, happy birthday to you. Wait a minute, it'll go around again. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tracy. Happy birthday to you. Right, that'll do with that one. Okay, well done. Thank you, Lydia. That was Lydia's phone. High quality definition on that one. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was my wife's phone. Sorry. You could tell that was obviously an Apple phone rather than, I don't know. Well, it was the wife's phone anyway. So, right then, everybody, that was the happy birthday to our friend Tracy from Squeaky Pub. So, happy birthday to you, Tracy. I hope you have a great day, whenever it was. Was it Wednesday? Thursday this week. So, there we have it. PRS says, really going to miss your singing when the quiz ends. Well, you don't have to. You could also come to Glyndebourne this year. Yes, September the 13th, I think I'm performing there, so you'll be pleased to know. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the answers to the initial letter link, which is round number 5. 10 questions on general knowledge, where the final answer asks you to connect it. Right, here we go then. What was the colour of the most post boxes in the United Kingdom? Well, of course, they were green. They were green. Which country began its vaccination programme in December? That was Israel. Number 3, I was after ray. What boy's name can also be used to mean the arm of a starfish? Apparently it's a ray. Number 4, the only property on the Monopoly board represented with a location that lies in the south of the Thames is the Old Kent Road. Number 5, minute pun is an anagram of which radioactive actinide metallic element? That is neptunium. Neptunium. Well done if you got that. It's the one after uranium. Number 6, Gemini and Cancer, of course, the 2 zodiac signs associated with June. They're associated with June. At 53 miles long and with its estuary in the Irish Sea, which English city stands on the River Lune? That's Lancaster. Well done for all you people living in Lancaster. Number 8, of course, was Watergate. Number 9, they were known as the Keystone Cops, of course, those humorously incompetent policemen. And finally, of course, number 10, if the first letters of the previous 9 answers can be rearranged, you should have ended up with an author, a woman even, J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, well done. She dropped from Ford's annual rich list of billionaires because she gave too much money away. So well played to her. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, see how I've all done after that round. So Squeaky Pop, after that magnificent vocal interlude, we have 46 points. What's that? Interesting use of the word miss. Sorry, Robin, I missed that, but never mind. Kevin Kieran and the Rugby Rotary Club, they've moved on to 50 points, as have the Weaklings, as have the Giffords, also moved on to 50 points. So well played them. So Martin and Tina and... wow, wait a minute. Where have we got to? Sorry, Jane and Graham. We got the Rorks. That's Hillary and John, the famous 5 on 48. We've got Sarah, Russ, Joe and James on 46. The Booby Prize girls are on 40. We've got Jed and Tracy on 49 points. PRS, they've moved on to 54 points. They may be the team to beat tonight. We got Quiz Your Rascals also on 54 points. Home Alone 6 have moved on to 50. Great score for them. Michelle saying, what's Michelle saying? Oh, bother, it's just gone off my screen. Sorry. Home Alone 6, favourite round, 45 points. Fantastic. Well played. Pinky and Perkin have moved on to 46 points. Ian Miller's on 38. Got Footy Fox 86 on 34. Split the difference have moved on to 54 points. And Clive and Janet, the Teasers, have also moved on to 54 points. Mick Robertson on 46 points. Georgie Lambert and the Yorkies and Linda on 47 points. David and Anderson on 47 points. Gareth Williams, Gaz and Bean on 36 points. Ross Morley's moved on to 45. Great score there, Ross. Well played you. Penny Graham, oh no, said 33. Never mind, Penny. They're doing very well. Carol Green, she's doing very well again. 51. Much better. I'm better at anagrams. That's what I like to see. All right, here we go. Keith Mitchell is on 44, so we've got to see how Steve and Jill Pugh are doing. So that's Keith and Glennis on 44 points. Ian, he's saying Ian, Julie, Ian and Bottler has 9. He's saying even more, Bowl, Star and Ox on 53 points. So well played them. Ian, Anthony James and Don Quizzotti, they've moved on to 51 points. Pick a Mixer on 48. We've got Jill and Steve Pugh. They're doing very well. Are they beating Glennis at the moment? Where are they? I've just missed him. I've missed, never mind. Stephen Jill Pugh, they've moved on to 43 points. Got Team UK, USA on 50 points. Devin McCarthy's on 48. The Ridgeway's doing very well again. That's Paul, Trish, and Anthony on 49 points, with Mike Yates on 44 points. So well played, Mike. Well, there's some great scores there, but right at the top, I think we've got a number of teams. I think if you're in the 50s at the moment, you still have a chance. And anybody in the 50s has got a great chance of winning tonight's quiz. We've got a number of teams on 54. We've got Paula Lewis and the Quizzy Rascals. We've got the Teasers. We've got Split the Difference. And we've got PRS. 4 of the most formidable teams to take on tonight's quiz. So anybody close to them, anybody can trip up on the last round. So here we go. Probably for Martin Davis, this one. Round number 6, question number 1. The 2010 golf course at the Celtic Manor Resort was specifically designed to host the Ryder Cup, but in which country of the United Kingdom would you find Celtic Manor? So question 1, the 2010 golf course at the Celtic Manor Resort was specifically designed to host the Ryder Cup, but in which country of the United Kingdom would you find the Celtic Manor? Sorry. I'm just changing it a little bit. Question number 2. What was David Beckham's squad number at Manchester United before the retirement of Eric Cantona? It's also the number of the atomic number of neon, and was also the number of plagues that were inflicted on Egypt, according to the book of Exodus. You might like to just change the end of that, Liz. So what was David Beckham's squad number at Manchester United before the retirement of Eric Cantona? It is also the atomic number of neon and was also the number of plagues that were inflicted on Egypt, according to the book of Exodus. Question number 3. This will take you back a bit. Linda, come on, you'll know this one from the Yorkies. Here we go. What was a weekly British magazine for girls published by DC Thompson and Company Limited from the 11th of January 1964 until its closure in 1993? It was the best-selling teen magazine in Britain for 10 years running. So question 3 again. What was a weekly British magazine for girls published by DC Thompson and Company Limited from the 11th of January 64 until its closure in 1993? It was the best-selling teen magazine in Britain for 10 years running. Question number 4. What city in the United Kingdom has the longest one-word name? Now, that just clarify that. I don't want Kingston upon Hull. I don't want anything with more than, I just need a one-word name. So what city in the United Kingdom has the longest one-word name? Might not roll off the tongue that easily. It might be a bit tricky to get that one. I think the longest with 3 words is Newcastle upon Tyne. Of course, it could be Brighton and Hove, I suppose. I'm just after a one-word name. The longest one with a one-word name. Question number 5. Featuring on its brand labelling, in which US state is Jack Daniel's whiskey produced? I'm sure all you pub goers will get that one. So, featuring on its brand labelling, in which US state is Jack Daniel's whiskey produced? Oh my goodness. I can see another one here for the Cornish tyke here. Carol's going to get this one straight away. Filmed on location in the village of Port Isaac, Cornwall, which TV doctor has the surname Ellingham, which is an anagram of the surname of its creator? So question 6 again. Filmed on location in the village of Port Isaac, Cornwall, which TV doctor has the surname Ellingham, which is an anagram of the surname of its creator? Question number 7 is one that me and my daughter and wife decided I needed to reword because I said last week. I said it wasn't last week, but never mind. Question number 7. Sadly, Prince Philip passed away just a few days ago. But before his marriage to the Queen, what relation were they to each other? I'll give you the choice. Were they first cousins, second cousins, or third cousins? Oh, that's a tricky one, isn't it? So sadly, Prince Philip passed away just a few days ago. But before his marriage to the Queen, what relation were they to each other? I'll give you the choice. Were they first cousins, second cousins, or third cousins? That's a bit of a bugger of a question, isn't it? If it helps, they were both related to Queen Victoria. But that may not help whatsoever. Question number 8. This is one Kevin Kiernan, I'm sure. I'll know this one straight away. According to a survey run by the website Illicit Encounters, the most popular excuse used by a cheating man going to meet his mistress is to tell his wife that he's going to play what? Well, I could put sport after that, but what sport? So according to a survey run by the website Illicit Encounters, the most popular excuse by a cheating man going to meet his mistress is to tell his wife that he's going to play what sport? Darts in the Vic. Were you ever any good at darts, Robin? I can't remember. You never joined the Vic darts team. Sorry, Kevin, I know you love playing that game, that's all. Question number 9. This is, I play tennis. Oh dear. I'm glad you took it well. Question number 9, here we go then. Of the 9 US states which contain the letter K in their name, which 3 start with a vowel? That's an interesting question. So of the 9 US states that contain the letter K in their name, which 3 start with a vowel? Oh dear. Come on, Ian, what do you tell your missus? I'm going off to play. I told that to my wife, I'm going off to play darts. Because I did for a while. Was it the Vic team? Oh, yes. I gave up darts after this Welsh guy decided to. We weren't very good, but he was playing and I was scoring, and his dart bounced off the bullseye, bounced onto the floor, and I said, "Whoops!" And he took real umbrage, told me off. We were only playing darts in, League 2 of the Rugby District Darts competition. I thought he was taking it far too seriously, but never mind. That's what happens in darts; they take it too seriously. And finally, question number 10. This will finish all off tonight. Yesterday saw the staging of the 173rd Grand National, which was originally called the Grand Liverpool Steeplechase. But in what decade of the 19th century did it first take place? Squeaky Bob. My ex told me it was working. Got away with it for a whole year before I noticed he had no weekends till. See ya. So that last one, question number 10 again. Yesterday I saw the staging of the 173rd Grand National, which was originally called the Grand Liverpool Steeplechase. But in what decade of the 19th century did it first take place? Oh, there were some tough ones there. So hopefully the 4 teams that were out in the lead may well have dropped a point or two there. You don't have to get them all right, you realise. It's a matter of a bit of fun. That's what taking part in quizzes is. But never mind. Right then, everybody, we'll get answers down. Should we do some marking? Or I don't think we need it any longer, do we? Bound to have an answer down for every one of those. Or are you still trying to work out your states? Right, here we go then. Let's go through some answers, see how you've all fared after that round. The 2010 golf course, the Celtic Manor Resort, was specifically designed for the Ryder Cup. That can be found in Wales. Wales, I'm sure Martin Davis got that straight away. Number 2, what was David Beckham's squad number for Manchester United before the retirement of Eric Cantona? That was number 10. Number 10. Number 3, that weekly British magazine for girls, which was the best teen magazine in Britain for 10 years running, was Jackie. Jackie, well done if you got Jackie. Number 4, the city in the United Kingdom with the longest one-word name is Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton, well done if you got that. Well, it is according to me, but anybody can come up with anything better. Number 5, featuring on its brand labelling in the United States, Jack Daniel's whiskey is produced in Tennessee. Jackie got Jackie. Well done, Jackie. Jackie and Faye got Jack. Oh, I'd expect you two to get that. Definitely. One of the boobies got that. Number 6, filmed on location in Port Isaac. It was Doc Martin. I was after Doc Martin. Number 7, the Queen and Prince Philip were actually third cousins. They were third cousins. Well done if you got that. It was a bit tricky to work out. I had a look at the 2 family trees, and that was very tricky to work out, but never mind. Number 8, according to a survey run by the website Illicit Encounters, the most popular excuse for a cheating man going to meet his mistress was to tell her he's going to play golf, of course. Number 9, of the 9 US states which contain the letter K in their name, which 3 start with a vowel? I'll give you half a point for 2, of course. It's Alaska, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. The other states being South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, New York, Kansas, and Kentucky. But, of course, they don't start with a vowel. So, Alaska, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. Half a point if you got 2 of those. And fine, number 10, yesterday saw the staging of the 173rd Grand National. It first took place in the 1830s. The 1830s, the first race was 1839. Which might have made it quite tricky, that one. You could have put 1840s, but it was in fact the 1830s. So well done if you got that right then. That was a tricky last round. I don't expect anybody to score 10, but if you did, well, fair play to you. So let's have some scores in, see how we've all fared. Now, do remember, I've only got 24 likes so far, so do feel free to just hit the like button before we go, and then I'll read out all the scores as we go. So Kevin Keenan of the Rugby Roach Club straight in with 59 points. Now, that's a cracking score. Georgie and Rory and Linda with a fantastic 52 points. Faye and the Boobies, they've ended up with 53.5 points. The Weaklings, 59 points. Highest ever, I think. Well played, the Weaklings. Well played, Martin. I hope you got the Welsh one in the end there. Do you know Wales has got more castles apparently per square kilometre than any other country in Europe? Well, there we have it. It was on the Welsh questions today. Pick and Mix end up with 55. Ian Miller ends up with 43 even. Well played, Ian. We got Ross Morley. Well played, Ross. 53.5 points. That's very good. 64 for the Quizzy Rascals. Well, that might take some beating. Footy Fox 86 are on 40. Sarah, Russ, Joe and James on 55. Keith and Glynis, they've ended up with 50. Well played, you two. I think that's a great score. Mick and Bev on 53 points. We've got Team Don Quizzote with Ian Anthony James and the gang. Well played, gang. That's 60 points. That's a great score. Home Alone 6 end up with 58. We have split the difference on 64 points. Well played, them. Jill and Steve Pugh, well, they scored a half point on that one. There was one of the states they didn't get, so well done. 50.5 points. Have you beaten? Well, that certainly beats Keith and Glynis, but have you beaten the other tough team? We'll see in a minute. Jed and Tracy are on 57 points. Well played, them. The Giffords, 57 points. Oh, dear. So Upper Toft seem to have hammered Middle Toft tonight with 57 points. Clive and Janet and the Teasers, 62 points. That's a very respectable score. Anybody in the 60s tonight has done very well. Jane and Anne and Dave Anderson on 53 points. Well played, them. Penny Graham ends up with 39. Oh, my goodness, it's gone off my screen again. 39.5, sorry. Gareth Wisdoms, that's Gaz and Bean on 42. Got Squeaky Bob on 54. Well played, Squeaky Bob. And happy birthday. Carol Green ends up with 60. A couple of Cornish ones in there. Well played, you. PRS, 63 points. I think they've been picked by a point tonight. Pink and Perky on 55. We've got John O'Rourke and the Famous Five also on 55. Well played, you. Trish Ridgway and Paul and Trish and Anthony end up on 55. Team UK USA, they're saying 60. Happy with that? Well, that's a cracking score. I mean, out of a total of 65, if you only dropped 5 points in the night, that's fantastic. And Michelle's saying 55 points for them tonight. So that's Michelle, Charlie, and James. Thank you very much for that. 55 points. We scored low tonight, but enjoyed it. Debbie, 58, all correct in that round. Well done, Debbie. I'll tell you, if you got 10 on that round, I think you're doing very well. Ian's saying, what's he saying now? Harry, Julian, Ian, and his bottlers rounds, they've added 8. 61. So he's saying just bowl with a star and a and a CKS. Jill saying, congrats to Upper Toft. So well played, Upper Toft. I wouldn't say they're thrashed, but they just picked Middle Toft tonight. So well played them. And it's great to see people from all over the country. So thank you for Cambridge, from our Worcester friends, from our Essex friends, from our friends from Teesside, from our friends from Burton, from our friends from all over the world, in fact, California as well. And if I've missed anybody, do just correct me quickly. Mike Yates ended up with 52 points. So well played, Mike. That's a good score in the end. Everybody's saying thank you very much tonight. So thanks, everybody. Do feel free before you go to hit the like button. I've got 31 likes. Let's see whether we can get a few more before I close the scoring tonight. And I'm very sorry about the Beatles question. I will make sure that I try and make those a bit more de facto. You know what it's like when you're doing these things. It's never easy to get every question quite as you want. And but there we have it. So good night, everybody. Thank you very much. Do come and join us on Wednesday night if you feel free, if you're doing nothing on Wednesday night. And if not, do come and join us next Sunday night for Nick's pub quiz, number 108 next week's 106 tonight. So we'll see. So signing off, and keep signing until you get 80 likes. Well, wait a minute. What have I got in the moment? I can't see because that's in the way. I've got 32 likes, but do feel free to hit the like button before you go. Thank you very much, everybody. Anyway, so good night and stay safe and all keep well. So good night, all. Thank you very much. I'm signing off now. If I can find my button to sign off. There we have it. Good night.